All right, a real short video. There's a false narrative that's been out there for years that says men are scared of commitment. All right, just in general, right? Oh, they won't commit to women. They're scared of commitment. You gotta understand, a lot of dudes, real quick, hit the link in the description, join the Patreon. A lot of guys have had the same barber for years. A lot of guys have been, use the same body wash, the same soap for years. They love the same shoe brands, hat brands. There's loyalty there. With women, there's changing of beauticians. There's, they don't even like to eat leftovers. You ever notice that about women? You know what I'm saying? Women don't like to eat leftovers. Remember we had that Becky, we did a short video on the Becky who said that, men who take leftovers from a dinner date, that's an ick and it turns her off. Men are more loyal to women, are more loyal than women are. Remember back in the 90s, they was calling men dogs. What's more loyal than a dog? Legitimately. So when we start having these conversations about the test of loyalty, that shouldn't even be up for discussion. Men are very loyal. Same barber. They usually wear the same brand. Same. A lot of dudes stick to the same cologne brands, whether they create more or not more. Women always change their beauticians, change their beauty supply stores, trying to Lemmy Lulu to from BB's to Lemmy Lulu, whatever. They always change stuff. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Women are spontaneous. Women that just wake up on, wake up on a Friday, like, we going to Atlanta for 3 days, and I'm just calling off for the weekend and on Monday. That's how they rock. They're more spontaneous creatures. Women want loyalty to look like what they want loyalty to look like. Like when you go into the black community, loyalty is just, if you cheated, they start creating subsidiaries off cheating, emotional cheating. You're doing this, they're doing, they start just, for the most part, they start creating all these different terms, love languages and all that type of stuff. And all that pretty much means is that they don't want to be wives. They don't have no loyalty, bro. Any woman that'll starve you out in a marriage, or so let's just say starves you out in a marriage and hold, punani over your head, and then when you go get somewhere else, then they say cheating and I want to leave. And like I said before, that means she's sleeping with somebody else. They do stuff like that. They do abusive things. They have attitudes when you come in the house. You know what I'm saying? So real talk, they the disloyalty ones. A lot of times it's not that they testing your loyalty, right? That's not what it is, that they testing your loyalty. A lot of the times is they want to break your loyalty. See, a lot of things they be jealous that men can do. The discipline that men can have as far as with the money, and even a lot of dudes can be disciplined with their sexual loins. A lot of most guys ain't a real men until they learn how to, take control over their sexual loins and discipline with their money and all that. What some women like to do is come in and knock you off that pivot. That's why you be better by yourself when you single. You got everything together, your finances, your credit score, your car together. You stacking hella paper. You doing well. And then when you add a woman into the equation, a lot of the times, everything go downhill. Money, finance, credit. They want all. They want to do this every weekend, and that's why you got most guys to say it's transactional anyway. So let me just pay you to leave. Let me get mine and pay you to leave. And like I said, it's pros and it's cons to that. I'm not gonna get into that in this video, but you can't. Men are very loyal. You know what I'm saying? They're very loyal. Women are the disloyal ones a lot of the times. Switching churches, switching friendships, getting mad at. I done seen females fall out over a couple dollars. Over you broke this and you did, over petty stuff. Always changing, always doing something different, trying something different. They want to try different dicks all the time. Nobody talk about. They always talking about the emphasis on the men cheat. Women cheat way more than men. Women sleep with way more people in their lifetime than the average man. Where's the loyalty at? And most times, if you take each marriage across all the ethnic groups, I guarantee you, if you can get a true lie detector or get God to come down and be honest, you're going to have way more wives that have stepped out on their husbands than their husbands have stepped out on their wives. It ain't even going to be, we could just point to the fact that we had that judge that found out his kids wasn't even his kids, a judge. They said fraternity fraud in Jamaica is 65%. It's some crazy number like that. Right now in America, it's creeping up on 30%, and those are the ones that just participated. If you go back into the day, it was like that as well. Ain't no loyalty amongst women, bro. Ain't no loyalty. They fall out with sisters, mothers. They fall out with everything. They can't even. They don't even have loyalty. They can't even eat leftovers. They got a new nail tech every 90 days. Oh, she was 5 minutes late, or I don't like the way she did. It's bullshit. Dudes be loyal to the soil, but women want loyalty to look like what they want it to look like. Well, you cheated on me, and guess what? So did your baby father. You know what I'm saying? So did it. Like, come on. They draw the line at cheating. They don't draw the line at domestic violence. They don't draw the line that you being broke to being broke. They don't draw the line at they draw the line at cheating. And this is why other ethnic groups of women, they win. And then what's the crazy thing is they love cheaters. If you don't cheat, you know what I'm saying? They look at you as a lame. They try to break the loyalty of a man. They try to break the man. I mean, Rick Ross had that on that song Deeper and Deeper. He said every woman was born to break her man. They born to break you and test you. That's what it is. That's why you get with a woman and they want you to go cheat so they can have a story. And then when you don't cheat, they got to find another reason to leave. They like variety more than men do. They spontaneous variety, all that disloyal, all that shit run parallel. They like variety more than men do. They want to go jump on another dick more than one man want to go jump in some more coochie. It ain't even close. Especially the older she is. So you gotta remember that. Women want to break your loyalty. They want to find every way to break, and then guys just then got hip to it. So now a lot of the smart men that been out here that understand it ain't just about being transactional, but you listening to a woman and you hearing what she say and how she moving, you just don't want to deal with it no more. That's a fact. You don't even want to deal with it no more. You like, I ain't dealing with that no more. I hear the red flag. I'm good. You hear it. What's so quick? They always so quick to say, I'll leave. They so quick to leave. Leave. They so quick to leave, but a nigga going upside their head, they loyal to that. They don't never leave. They don't stay out of fear. That's what they like. An abusive, a demonstrative, argumentative, dysfunctional relationship in the black community. That's what they like. They associate dysfunction with love. They associate aggressive nature, being belligerent, yelling, screaming with passion and love. Clear communication, peace is a sign for peace out. You don't really love me because you ain't yelling and beating on me and doing stuff. That's how a lot of them think. That's why a lot of dudes then tapped out. Because even if you a loyal dude, these women, they do things to make you be disloyal. They do things to break your code. And this is why a lot of y'all women, to keep it a being, a lot of y'all gonna be single. And a lot of y'all claim to be happy just being passed around, just getting DoorDash dick every now and again. Y'all claim to be happy with that. That's the claim. But we all know when you go to your XXL wine, you don't have a man to snuggle with, you don't have a man to help you fix your problems, you don't have a man to emotionally dump on, you don't have a man to take to the Christmas party or show off to. We know what it is. We know what it is. We know exactly what it is. Y'all crying and stuff, and men don't do that. Niggas don't really care if you got a bitch or no bitch. Like, come on, you can just go, y'all so cheap, you can go buy one. And not even deal with the distress. So, it is what it is. Link in the description, join the Patreon.